So next up, podcast listeners, we have some funny stuff here. The Bernie Sanders meme. So yes, Bernie Sanders was at the inauguration of President Biden and Kamala Harris. And when, of course, Biden was being sworn in, Bernie was like kind of very isolated, it seemed, versus everybody else, sitting in a chair with his two really humongous mittens, right? Not gloves, but actual mittens. And then they were knit mittens. And they looked actually pretty warm and kind of like very Vermonty, like hippie-ish Vermonty, quite frankly. And it's like exactly looked like something like, I'm going to move to Vermont. I'm going to buy mittens, or I'm going to open up a mitten company. Well, Bernie, of course, has them. And I have to admit, they're kind of cool looking. And so we have CNN's Dana Bash asking Bernie Sanders about his meme. And so why does that matter? Well, of course, because Bernie was kind of sitting alone with these huge mittens, there were memes that went viral all over the country. And that people would insert Bernie, who was sitting in his chair with his memes, his gloves, his massive mittens, and they would insert the meme in all kinds of different pictures. And so CNN's Dana Bash asked Bernie Sanders about this. And we have that clip, and here it is.
One of the things that has seemed to have been a distraction from the pain you're talking about is you on the internet over the past week. The fact that you have become a meme, the picture of you sitting at the inauguration in your mittens. Thousands of memes. That's just some of them on the screen. I have to show you some of my personal favorites. Demi Moore, she put your picture in her famous ghost scene. Jennifer Grey, she played Baby in Dirty Dancing. She put you in the corner, Senator. And, you're even a selfie with us on election night. So my question is, are you having as much fun with this as the world is?
I am. And not only are we having fun, what we're doing here in Vermont is we're going to be selling around the country sweatshirts and T-shirts, and all of the money that's going to be raised, which I expect will be a couple of $1 million, will be going to programs like Meals on Wheels that feed low-income senior citizens. So
that's Bernie Sanders responding to his infamous picture and now meme that is everywhere. And here's a news story from ABC 57. I'm going to read this one. Woman who made Bernie Sanders mittens says she has no more to sell. So apparently she's had a huge demand for these mittens. Everybody's like trying to find out, where do I buy these mittens? Well, she's out. So the Vermont school teacher behind the cozy mittens worn by Bernie Sanders during President Joe Biden's inauguration on Wednesday said she's been flooded with requests from people wanting to buy a pair, but they're no longer for sale. That's for all the interest in Bernie Sanders. She said, thanks for all the interest in Bernie Sanders mittens. That was Jen Ellis. That's what she wrote on Twitter, who owns the company. I'm so flattered that Bernie wore them to the inauguration. Sadly, I have no more mittens for sale. There are a lot of great crafters on Etsy who make them. I mean, she's basically sending people somewhere else. I mean, it's not very bright, right? If it were me, I'd like try to scale up and try to make as many of these mittens as possible and sell them. A few years ago, Ellis, who teaches second grade, gave the Vermont senator the patterned hand-knit smittens, as she calls them, part mittens and part sweater on the campaign trail. But she didn't expect he'd start wearing them at high-profile events like the inauguration. The mittens are made from repurposed wool sweaters, and no wonder she ran out of them, and it's not enough material, and lined with fleece made from recycled plastic bottles, she said in a tweet last year. Oh my God. So they're an iconic accessory in the grumpy chic meme of Sanders, sitting with his arms crossed in a puffy jacket and blue mask. Across social media this week, Sanders has been photoshopped onto the Game of Thrones throne, transported into historical photographs, shrunken down to fit onto former First Lady Melania Trump's dress, and seen outside your doorstep via a new app that uses Google Maps. The image is also being sold on T-shirts, mugs, and a $25 bobblehead. Some sellers on Etsy are already touting Bernie Sanders-inspired mittens. Last year, online merchants crashed in on the fly that buzzed on former Vice President Mike Pence during the debate against Kamala Harris. The Biden campaign sold more than 35,000 fly swatters with the slogan, "Truth over flies," a play on the campaign slogan, "Truth over lies." So that's part of the article from ABC 57. So if that's not enough, Late Night's Seth Meyers who was interviewing Sanders also about the memes. And we have this clip. It's pretty funny, and here it is.
Who was incredible. You were sort of one of the stars of the inauguration. Were you aware that this photo was immediately sort of became the meme of the day?
Not at all. I was just sitting there trying to keep warm, trying to pay attention to what was going on.
I appreciate that you're not a politician who uses memes, but you became one. I mean, do you? Does your staff show them to you? Here you are with the Sex and the City girls.
Yeah, I've seen them.
The other question.
What was really nice, Seth, is the woman who made the mittens lives in Essex Junction, Vermont. She is a school teacher, and is a very, very nice person, and she has been somewhat overwhelmed by the kind of attention that is being shown to her.
In which case, she should definitely cash in, but apparently she's not. So my favorite Bernie Sanders memes with the mittens, where he's sitting in Wayne's World, Wayne's World from Saturday Night Live. Another one of my favorites, he's sitting with the Bachelor. In The Bachelor, he's sitting on the couch with all the people in The Bachelor. Kind of funny thinking of Bernie as a bachelor because he was like the winner of The Bachelor. That's what it made it look like. Another it's the Bernie Sanders meme as the fly on Mike Pence's head during the debate with Kamala Harris. And my personal favorite, drum roll for that would be, you remember when Michael Jackson was holding his infant son over the balcony, which was, of course, incredibly stupid and dangerous? Well, there's a meme of Michael Jackson doing the same thing, but he's holding Bernie Sanders, the Bernie Sanders meme, over the balcony as if he's going to potentially drop Bernie Sanders. And so we actually think that's really funny because as far as memes go, that is, without question, 2021's best meme. But we have another idea for a meme, and we're hoping maybe you can send us some ideas via email, or you're even welcome to post them if you want on social media. But keep it classy, of course. It's hard to with this particular one because without question, 2021's best gaffe so far, and I don't see how this can be outdone in 2021. Although with Joe Biden as president, anything is possible. Well, 2021's best gaffe so far, which also would make a great meme, is when Chuck Schumer went to the Senate floor and talked about how important it was to have an impeachment trial to remove Donald Trump from office, who's already not in office, of course. And Chuck Schumer makes a gaffe, a mistake that is just unthinkable and unimaginable. I mean, what an idiot. And the funny thing is if you watch this really closely, after he says the infamous word and makes the gaffe, he literally turns his head like this. He goes, he realizes oh my gosh, I've made an incredibly dumb and awful mistake. How do I walk that back? Too late, you already said it, and it is out there in the Ethernet forever. So we have that clip, and here it is.
Make no mistake, there will be a trial, and when that trial ends, senators will have to decide if they believe Donald John Trump incited the insurrection against the United States.
So, of course, after he said the word, his head went literally oh my gosh, did I really say that? And so I'm waiting for, some memes to go out there with Chuck Schumer. I haven't seen them yet. I suspect that could be, could be coming down the future. And that is Bernie Sanders' meme